Hello everybody, Average Gamer here. Welcome back to another episode of Kerbal Space Program. In this episode, we're going to spam out a whole bunch of science using what I'm calling the Science Get 2000. First thing we did, we designed something very simple that used a scientist. Scientists can reset experiments. I'm hoping, or that's the engineer, I don't remember, but I think it's the scientist. So what he can do is he can actually reset the mystery goo and the Science Lab Junior. So we basically hop them out, get them to reset these. We keep putting everything into this thing here, and at the very end, we just basically collect our science or collect our vessel at the very end. We actually don't even need this antenna. Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, we don't even need an antenna. I threw just a jet engine on this thing with the intake at the front and then at the back. We got brakes and stuff like that built into the wheels, so we shouldn't have any problems. I'm more worried about just the front clearance a little bit. But other than that, I think we'll do just fine. So here we go. The maiden voyage of the Science Get 2000 in Kerbal Space Program. So immediately we're going to put the brakes on, and we're going to test out our groups. So group number 1 is to do all our science. We're going to keep everything. We're going to hit this button here, and we're going to tell it to collect everything. It will tell us things have been removed. Certain things are quote-unquote inoperable. We're now going to do an EVA with Bob here. He is going to do a surface sample and an EVA report. He's going to keep both. And he's actually going to board. Sorry, I screwed that up. He's going to then, we're actually then going to be able to restore. Boom, and restore. And we're able to reboard. Brakes will turn back on. Don't need to do a crew report, but then we can go collect all again. Boom, there we go. And we are good to go to the next objective, which is going to be just over here to the right. So, engine on. Brakes off. And we just put the throttle up just a little bit and steer to the direction we want to go, and then turn the engine back off. As we go over the edge, we want to be a little careful, because the steering on this thing is kind of finicky, as you can see. If you turn it too tight, turn it too tight, you can actually roll it on its side. So we got to be a little careful. So once we get over the edge here, we can do our next batch of science. Our engine is off. Brakes are on. We hit the number 1, and we keep all our experiments. We hit the number 2, and everything should be stored, which is perfect. We hop Bob out here, and we say do EVA, keep it. Surface sample, keep it. He restores and restore. Oops. Keep that, I guess? No. Well, he can collect it, and then he can restore it. And then we're going to store everything in there. He's going to reboard. We hit 2. And everything's good to go. Brakes are off. We make our quick first steer to the airport, the airbase here. I'm going to hit full throttle. Get us up to about 10 kph. So you can see here, steering is a bit wonky. This thing's going to constantly want to wobble. So you can't go too fast. Once you get up to a certain speed, you gotta, once you get over 10, it definitely gets into a bit of a wobble. So you gotta be careful. Then we're just gonna, boom, boom. There's a hill all the way around the KSC, the Kerbal Space Center. Now we shouldn't have any issues with power because this engine does have an alternator in it. Right now it's not doing anything because obviously there's no, it's not turned on. One thing you can do to charge your batteries if you need them charged, obviously solar panel. But you can also just turn this on and have your brakes on at the same time, and it will just sit there and it will just charge up your batteries. So we're almost there. Do another little pop of our engine here, which is actually theoretically a real thing. I'm trying to remember what the name of I think it's a RAM engine, where it just constantly goes like on off on off on off on off, and apparently it's very a very efficient thing, but also leaves what they call donuts on a rope. So we want to just get enough power to get up here. There we go. Then we're going to turn towards our next building, which is the staff building, basically. And we're going to hit the brakes real quick. Number 1, keep all our experiments. He's going to do his crew reports, which I forgot as a science experiment. We're going to hit number 1. Apparently something wasn't able to be sent. Material study from Kerbal Space Center is already... Are we not... Yeah, we're from the SPH. You're restored. You're restored. You are going to do your EVA. Take your surface sample. You're then going to store them in there. You're going to go there. And we're just going to transfer everything again. Not all items can be stored. Something's not going right. We're just going to charge our batteries up a little bit here. There we go. Batteries off. And we're going to go to the next building. So yeah, so this episode is going to be all about just grinding science. This is, in my eyes, one of the easiest ways to get science on early in the game. Is basically just go around the Kerbal Space Center with your... basically a rudimentary lander. I mean, later on you can actually make a proper lander. But I wanted a scientist on there, so I could go around and reset the experiments as we use them. It's more entertaining when you accidentally hit the wrong button, and you try, and all of a sudden this thing goes airborne or something, and it just takes off. And we want to get right about here, because then we can kind of swing around. Or even getting stuck in. There's a pool right over here. If you get stuck in that pool, it can be a bit of a pain. And brakes are on. Science. Keep. 3, 4. We're going to do a crew report. What's this? I think that's the thing that it's saying that we can't do, right? Yep, so we did 2 material studies. That's this one. We're going to just discard that. You're going to go EVA, upon which you're going to do your 2 things, keep and keep. We're going to restore. I'm just going to reboard, and then we're just going to transfer back over. Boom! Look at that. Brakes are off, engine on. I'm going to wait till we hit about 5 kph, or 5 meters a second, sorry. And I'm going to hit the brakes right now. Brakes. Brakes. Whew. Now, theoretically, I could do this by hitting WASD, but that just takes forever. You're on. Okay. So we're going to do our crew report. All our science. Keep. We're going to do our transfer. Perfect. You're going to do your EVA again. Bank. And we're going to do our restores. You're going to board again. Actually, no, we're going to hit the button, transfer everything. So right now we have 32 points of science. So remember, we've only done 1, 2, 3 buildings, the runway, and the area between the runway and the buildings. So we still have the research facility, the tracking station, the 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 crawler way between the actual main construction building and the launch pad itself. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more buildings, and we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, and we've done 5. So this is where I'm going to show you guys just how efficient this is with getting science. So we did basically 5 objects. We got 235 science. So we did the runway. We did this area around it. We did the hangar, the complex, and the admin building. We still have to do the R&D building, the actual vehicle assembly building, the mission control, the whatever this is going to be called. That's 4. The launch pad, which is 5, and then the tracking station, which is 6. So we still have 6 locations, and we got over 200 science from that. So what we're going to do is we're going to unlock advanced aeronautics, and we're going to unlock something in here. I'm thinking propulsion systems. This is specifically for probes, which I like. We're not really doing much with aircraft yet. Landing stuff, not so much yet. If we had 180, I would do advanced flight controls and propulsion systems, but we can't right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to do propulsion. We're going to research that. And then the next thing we're going to do is advanced flight controls, which will give us SAS. It'll give us the propellant tanks for the SAS. It'll give us also the advanced SAS as well. So we're going to have obviously the RCS, better SAS, and all that stuff. So, and that's if I did all this, we would have been able to get that, no problem. Well, I'm not too worried about that. Now we currently have what we need to do to get to the moon. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to redesign real quick all this up here. So first things first, all of those batteries are gone. You're coming off. You're coming off. The SAS is going to stay on. That's going to be popped up. Science-wise, we still have all the same science experiments. Communication-wise, we're going to have to upgrade our comm system. We're going to put it... You know what? Let's actually leave that there. And then we're going to attach the comm system like so. There. For electrical, this is the 1x6. I want at least 4 of these puppies on here, and I'm going to put them in the corners. We're also going to need the battery packs associated with this. So, first things first, I'm going to open this door, and I'm going to get rid of these really crappy batteries. Thank you. And we're also going to relocate a lot of our science experiments. Oh, actually, no, I'm not. I actually just came up with an idea. I only need 1 of you, thank you. Why can't I click? That can go there. That's no big deal. I'm going to put... Yeah, we're going to need some thermal as well. From what I'm told, that is going to be a thing. So they're going to go right there. Is it structural? Coupling. No, payload. So payload's going to change up about here. Going to open this up. We're going to go to battery. And we're going to attach 2 like that. Then 2 like that. That gives us what? 4, 8, 9. Well, actually, oh, I don't have the thing that shows us how much power we have on this thing, do I? This doesn't actually tell me what's wrong. Okay, there's nothing concerning this vessel. Okay, would like something to show me just how much power we have, but I'm gonna have to take a guess. So that's 2, 4, 8, 12. 1,200 power, which is more than enough. Custom group 1 is all our science, which is good. And I mean, the plan is just to get this thing into moon orbit, and that's it. One of the things I'm going to do as well. No. Alt. Which is the funny part, because this is all at least... There we go. So these are still going to stay as group 1. But you... are going to be removed. And you're going to be removed. Okay, let's remove all of it and just redo it. So number 1. Okay, it's going to be you. Log temperature. You. Log pressure. You. Observe the goo. And you. Observe the bed. And I just okay, I for a second there I thought we had done something else here. Number 2 is going to be obviously all of you guys. Extend radiators and extend our solar panels. Number 3 is you, and we're going to extend the antenna. And then number 4 is going to be you and you. So we just have to keep hitting 4 basically once we get into orbit. And later on we'll do more stuff. We're going to close that. We're going to close that. And this should, without any major issues, get us into first our orbit, and then so what? It's science panels. Okay, so we have to remember this. Once we get up into orbit, we hit 2, and it extends all our stuff here. Actually, what I should do is just make add. Yeah, make that all. Oh, you know what? I'm worried I'm gonna hit the wrong button. So 9 is going to be all this science. There we go. Number 1 is going to be extend the antenna, extend solar panels, and extend the radiators. So we're going to hit 1 and all this stuff's going to go. We hit 2. From now on, 2 will be pressure, just pressure and temp. And from what I'm pretty sure as of this point is we're good when it comes to science. Getting up into the moon. We're probably also going to do a 2-parter going to the moon. Getting to the moon, doing science on the moon, and getting into orbit will be the second episode. But I think we're good to go at this point. If I'm forgetting anything, well, meh. But I believe this is good to go. The upgraded P3. This is going to be the P3 dash M for the moon. We're going to save. So we upgraded everything up here. Here we go. We choose to go to the moon. Not because it's easy, but because it's just the next thing to do. Here we go. We are launching in 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, unos. So far, so good. Once our first engines kick out... Oh. We're getting way too fast here. Alright. First batch of engines, gone. Quick spin here. And we've lost control. So, mental note, this thing doesn't like to spin. And I think I need to do some struts or something. SAS on. We're going to go with about half throttle and see how that goes. Ish. So we're going to launch in 3, 2, 1. Right, 2/3 throttle. So full throttle, launch, and then drop down to 2/3. So we got 5 engines going right now. So last time, this got us up to 8,000 meters. Or 8 kilometers. Then this is going to get us to about 4.5. Alright, so that wasn't good either. So I guess we have to do full throttle. So full throttle is the way to go on this thing. So here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Full launch. Full throttle. At 10,000 meters, we're going to go over by 10 degrees. Once we start seeing the FX, we'll start to slow down. Once we hit 300 meters a second. Which is now, we're now going down to half throttle. And as of 8, we're going to start to tilt a little bit. Get our gravity turn going. Oh, look at that timing. Right when they ran out of power, or ran out of gas. Now, normally this is where I would do the spin to make sure that this part of the rocket here, when lobbed off, doesn't hit us here. So my worry is if this gets pushed out, this will turn in and will hit something here, or even hit like back in through here somewhere. But I don't think that's going to be much of an issue. We're at 20, so we're now going to go to 60 degrees. Looks like, well, I can't zoom in. 35, 36, doing pretty good. Still got redonkulous amounts of fuel. Main engine is still fully fueled. We're about to move over to the next stage, on to stage 2, whatever the next stage is. Nice clearance, we're good. Alright, so once we hit 50, you know what, we're going to start tilting over now. I'm going to order the rocket to follow prograde. We're also going to slow down a little bit. Once this hits 72, we are then going to flatten our orbit, get into orbit first. Also, Well, we're now officially out of the atmosphere. Bing! Oh, I forgot that I wanted to add in another decoupler around here, like right in between these two, but that's not going to work. 72. So we're now going to cut, hit the button. I'm now going to add the maneuver and get us into orbit. 73, 35, whoops, 66, and whatever. So we have a 2-minute burn, so I'm immediately just maxing it out. So I think I may have just already screwed this up. I mean, I shouldn't be pushing our apogee away from us still. Nope. We're going to start coming down now. Yeah, I think I may have just screwed this up. I mean, we have a lot of fuel to burn, so it's no big deal, but we're halfway through our burn. And the music for being in space is gone. Oh, crap on a cracker. So any second now we're actually going to be at the lowest point in our orbit. I want to make sure that this... This is going to start coming down. I can't bring these back in. So this is going to hurt. We're going to start pulling back out of the atmosphere, which is good. And once we get up here, I'm going to circularize to a point our orbit. And then I'm going to hope that we have enough fuel to get to the moon. Because I am an idiot. Alright, we're officially back up into the higher atmosphere again, because I'm a dope. Alright, well, that's going to be the end of this episode. In the next episode, we burn to the moon, theoretically. God, I'm so bad at this game. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.